It's December 1st, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today and the Treasury Titans. And wow, how happy are all of we to say goodbye to November? Negative 17% for the month. Overall, one of the worst Novembers in all of Bitcoin history, if not the worst, but definitely one of the worst. Absolutely brutal. October, Moonvember, none of them worked out. So let's just say we're happy it's December. And what did Michael Saylor do to maybe spice things up a little bit yesterday, despite the $5,000 Bitcoin drop from 91 and change to 86 and change? Well, he did drop a little bit of a hint and had something to do with green. So I had to go ahead and get him going on in his green suit here, looking all snazzy because usually he's dressed in orange. But why would he be dressed in green now? Well, what if we start adding green dots? And I'll tell you, this post from yesterday got Twitter all abuzz. People were freaking out. People were guessing all the guesses. I'll actually give you my guesses right now, but at the end of the day, nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research. But here's my guesses for the green. My first guess is that they raised cash to pay off future dividends. I think that a lot of people are going to like to see that Strategy actually has cash in the bank to pay these dividends so that when Bitcoin goes down 30%, the prefs wouldn't probably be as impacted because they just have the cash sitting there. It's just sitting there waiting to pay these dividend payments. Maybe they'll do like 1 year out. I don't see them going much more than 1 year out just because they're going to want to be obviously buying as much Bitcoin as possible and not sitting on dirty fiat. But you got to do what the market wants you to do on some levels because we have to get stretch to 100 so that Michael Saylor can start ATMing his face off. I just got paid for stretch. It was a nice little chunky payment. So thank you, Michael Saylor. Thank you, Strategy. I loved it. And I think that if they do have like a year's worth of cash built up, that they just show, hey, this is set aside for prefs. We're going to keep it at a year. It's going to just allow people to be like, you know what, when Bitcoin dips, they have the cash right there. And of course, we think Bitcoin is going to recover, but the cash is there to cover all dividend payments until then. So they won't do anything crazy like selling Bitcoin or anything along those lines. Another guess is that they did stock buybacks. This is my second guess in order, by the way. I think first off, my first guess is that they set aside cash. Second is that they did a stock buyback. They didn't really have much opportunity to do that. So maybe they didn't, or maybe they just did like a very tiny, small token amount just to show the market. Again, I think this is all kind of market posturing right now, just to show the market that they can and they will do stock buybacks when the time is right. So again, this is something that they might have done on a small level just to, again, kind of show the market what they're capable of doing if Strategy gets to 1 MNAV and below. Another option is that they're going to announce a Canada like instrument, a Canada preferred like instrument, just like they did with Stream. Who knows what this one will be? Maybe it'll be called, I'm not even going to guess actually, but it'll be STR something, of course. And I know that Canada is one of the countries in his sights. So I think in order, it's going to be setting aside cash for dividends just to have the market be chilled out. The owners of these prefs be chilled out just to know that their dividends will be paid no matter what, probably especially in Stride, which is that junk that got, the junk yield that got down to like $62 or something. Now it, screamed back up to like the high 70s. But man, that was like a 15+% yield for a while with return of capital, rock dividends, with, meaning that you're paying no taxes for the next 10 years. I mean, absolutely insane. I just wish I had more cash to dump into something like that because that was an opportunity of a lifetime. You get the 15% locked in, plus no tax, plus you're expecting some capital appreciation over time, and there's been plenty of it. I think it's up like 18 or 19% since it's low. So we'll find out today. You'll probably find out soon after watching this video. And a lot of you will probably already know by the time you're watching this video. And you're like, John, those were just 3 terrible guesses. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm just guessing. Let's move along to just when you think you figured out Michael Saylor, he throws you a curveball. He's one of the greatest of all times. And I would actually disagree with this. I think he is the greatest of all time. He has figured out the game. Period. End of story. It's a fantastic game to have figured out, and he has figured it out. He's won it. and we are going to win it with him. Let's keep on moving to among the endless orange, one green awakens. And there's Michael Saylor with his one green, holding it up like a champ. And then you have a reminder. I thought this was really funny. Reminder, QT ends today. So what does that mean? Printer is coming. A little nod to Game of Thrones. Printer is coming. I like that. And let's open up the printer. Let's go. Anthony says, it's refreshing that we finally have people like David Sachs in leadership positions who use the tech they oversee. We should want leaders to use the products, talk to the founders, invest in the companies, and generally be market participants in their selected industries. And I totally agree with this. I love the fact that David Sachs is rocking and rolling. Chris says, they said the same about the automobile. Well, first off, what are they saying? Let's go down to what Peter Schiff says. Bitcoin isn't selling off because it's a risk asset, but because it's a fake asset. The NASDAQ is less than 2% from its record high, yet Bitcoin is 28% below its record high. This shows that there's more than just risk off at play. This is rotation from fake to real assets. And again, Peter, he is just a farming, clickbait farming, engagement farming machine. That's just the end of the day. We give him way too much oxygen, but what can we do? Chris says, they said the same about the automobile. They said the same about the radio, the same about the TV, same about the computer, same about the internet, same about the iPhone. All new technologies are misunderstood, mocked, and dismissed until they're not. Poor Peter Schiff. Zink says, I'm of the opinion that Michael Saylor has an asymmetrical information and has had that information for a while. Of course, the end game is obvious for most of us who came to the conclusion they will never stop printing money. Since Trump won last year, Strategy has bought 397,650 Bitcoin Signal. Zinks, let's go. I definitely agree with this. And Michael Saylor has the asymmetric information advantage. Adam says, the funniest IQ test on this site is watching people with quote unquote economist, professor, or CFA in their bio genuinely believe Michael Saylor is about to get liquidated. They look at the guy who turned a sleepy analytics firm into a Bitcoin-powered black hole, raised billions at zero cost, built perpetual yield engines that Wall Street still doesn't understand, front-ran every institution on earth, cornered the fixed income market with synthetic Bitcoin credit, and absorbed more Bitcoin than most countries, and then say, I think he's overleveraged. If you think Saylor is going bankrupt, the real margin call happened inside your skull. Say it like it is, Adam. Crypto Rover says, big week incoming from markets. Monday, Powell speech, QT ends, PMI data, ISM manufacturing. That's a big day today. Wednesday, additional PMI and ISM data. Thursday, initial jobless claims, a U.S. trade deficit. Friday, PCE inflation data. Big volatility ahead. Big time. Ragnar said the key takeaways from the AMA with Dylan, and I highly recommend going to X and just searching Dylan LeClaire and looking at the recent AMA that he did. I mean, he was taking questions from anybody. Like next time I see one, I'm actually going to jump in because I have a couple of questions I'd love to hear more about. But number one, Metaplanet has an incredibly robust business model. Number two, they are building an institutional grade one-stop shop for Bitcoin financial services in Japan. Number three, they raised $135 million in their pre-IPO round of Mercury amidst the worst possible market sentiment. For their press have an ATM-like program. 5, the limiting factor of their amplification ratio is the income they generate. 6, Metaplanet holds 90% of the Bitcoin held by Japanese public companies. They are the dominant player. And 7, building operating businesses and navigating regulatory challenges to issue press take time and are not dependent on Bitcoin sentiments. Overall, he wraps it up, Ragnar does, by saying, I couldn't be more bullish on the stock. Same with me. I am very bullish Metaplanet because they know Michael Saylor. They love Michael Saylor. They are a disciple of Michael Saylor, and they are following the strategy playbook, and that is why they're going to win. Now, I have a really interesting video clip from Elon Musk talking about Bitcoin, Michael Saylor clip, of course, as well, and sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Some fundamental currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just, pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money, and probably we'll just have energy power generation as the de facto currency.
When you're ready to build your complete business identity, you want to do it fast and right. With Northwest Registered Agent, you can build your business identity in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. When you want more, start your business with Northwest. Everything you need to launch and protect your business all in one place. Your business identity isn't just your logo or website, it's everything that represents you, from what customers see to what they don't: legal filings, state licenses, secure domains, and compliance tools. Northwest gives you more privacy, more tools, and more guidance so you can focus on growing your dream. For nearly 30 years, Northwest has helped entrepreneurs like us build confidently. You can form your business for just $39 plus state fees, backed by real corporate guides, people who know your state's laws and have your back every step of the way. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paidJLD and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paidJLD. Michael Saylor just made an $835 million bet buying the Bitcoin dip. Right now, Bitcoin's fallen almost 40% off its October high, and the big money is buying the dip. What's your strategy? Now might be a great time to convert your IRA or 401k to Bitcoin with the help of Bit IRA. Plus, you can fund it with pre-tax funds, then continue to invest it over time as you do any other retirement accounts. Bit IRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the U.S. government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Bitcoin has proven time and time again to rebound, every cycle going from a higher low to a higher high. With Strategy's latest purchase, Michael Saylor clearly believes Bitcoin is at a discount. Time for you to get in too. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
So why is Bitcoin digital capital? Well, the politicians say it's digital capital. The banks have embraced it as digital capital. Now we actually have JP Morgan expressing support for the asset class. We have the head of Charles Schwab that's announced that they're going to custody Bitcoin. They're going to let you trade it. They're going to extend credit against it. They're going to let you deposit it and withdraw it in the first half of 2026. That's extraordinary. So what you see now is 12 months ago, I couldn't get a loan against any kind of Bitcoin posted as collateral from any major bank in the United States. Right now, Bitcoin is creditworthy collateral at Merrill Lynch, at JP Morgan, at Charles Schwab, at Texas Capital Bank, at BNY Mellon, at Wells Fargo, and at PNC. And so there's probably a few that I've skipped. I think Citi has just announced that they're going to start to custody and bank Bitcoin the first half of next year. So we have basically progressed through the unthinkable. We've gone from a toxic asset class that the administration was against and the banking industry did not acknowledge, to an emerging asset class that's getting the grudging respect of half of the major banks in the United States, and it's spreading like wildfire. And these are the most conservative, risk-averse organizations in the world, and if they go and do a 180 in just 12 months, that's pretty extraordinary. And if half of them embrace this asset within 36 months, I think that's light speed. So you've seen the banks embracing Bitcoin. Now you're seeing Wall Street. Of course, we all know the story of the success of IBIT, the most successful ETF in the history of Wall Street. I've tracked it pretty closely. What's interesting, of course, is it went from nothing to about $100 billion in less than 2 years. But also, if you look at the emergence of the derivatives market on top of IBIT, it went from nothing to $10 billion to $50 billion. And if you look at the liquidity, it went from nothing to trading $4 to $5 billion a day. It's really quite extraordinary.
What's the second best? There is no second best.